Welcome to Godot Unscripted, a podcast on the Godot ecosystem. Today, on our wonderful podcast, we have Aquatic Ranger Studio joining us. Creators of Traveler's Hymn, a recently released free game on Steam with over 100 positive reviews. They are a recently formed studio who has created 3 other high-quality game jam games. Lin and Zhongyi, how the hell are you guys?
Good.
Good. How are you, man?
Doing fantastic. Thank you. This studio was created only last year, right?
Yeah. I guess I'll start, and Jenny can chime in whenever he wants to. Last year in January, I reached out to Jenny actually to. So the studio was formed around a year ago. Actually, exactly a year ago, when I reached out to Jenny to look for an artist on some practice game development projects. Back then, I was just winding up my previous work, and I wanted to start getting into gaming in general.
Yeah.
And that's when we talked and started discussing the potential idea of us to forming a studio by ourselves.
Nice. And Zhongyi, how did you guys know each other beforehand? Had you worked together before?
So we knew each other for quite a while, almost 10 years. We started as online friends, and then
Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, like almost, I wouldn't say childhood friends, but like basically, right?
We're kind of old, actually. I'm like in my mid-30s, so not childhood friends for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've known each other for like a decade. I actually met my wife through Jenny.
Oh, really? No way.
it's
Yes.
it's so funny, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy.
Best wingman ever, man. Probably with good art. So, I mean, you said old, but you're like mid-30s. That's like almost the same as me. And you guys contacted each other, right? You formed this studio. Is this your full-time job currently? Or are you doing something else on your full-time?
So when this all started, I was laid off from the studio I was in, and then last year I spent a lot of time figuring out like what I want to do, how do I want to allocate my time, and this I think for the bulk development period, we are full time. Like when we were developing the game jam games and the Traveler's Hymn.
Is that the same for you, Lynn?
Yes. So I'm treating this studio as my full-time job for sure. So as I said, last year I was winding down on my other job. So I am fully committed to this. Just right now, I'm taking a bit of time off because I just had a baby. But after that, I intend to go full steam ahead.
Nice. And this is where I'm curious then. You guys released a couple of game jam games, which we'll talk about later. And then you released Traveler's Hymn. And it's a great game. But why is it free?
Thank you. So yeah, this started as a prototype. Like we didn't started working on that and intended to be a full game. So a little bit of a background. Lin doesn't have game experience beforehand, and he works as a software engineer. So we kind of used the first several game jam projects as like a method of practicing. We were trying to make a bigger prototype, like a slightly longer prototype, but at the beginning of this Traveler's Hymn, we didn't intend it to be like a full game. The scope after several rounds of like scope creep, we ended up finishing it and releasing it. But there, like to us, there's some aspects of the game that are not polished to the quality that we would like, and also we don't want to like patch a lot of like quality of life features. We kind of want to finish this project off and maybe move on to the next one.
Yeah, release it and move on. Bigger obligation to the player base. I understand. Well, am I correct to assume that this was the first thing you started to work on and more or less the last one you released? I'm a little bit hazy on the timeline because just stalking you through social media, it seems this is the first one you posted, and then came the other Game Jam games.
Oh no, it's the other way around.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense. And who chose Godot and why?
Yeah, it was me. I mean, for me, I was coming into game development as a clean slate. And at that point, Unity was having that fiasco with all the payment stuff. So that really drove me away from Unity. And I have a particular interest in 2D games. So based on my very limited research, Unreal was not really suitable for my, well, I shouldn't say suitable, but it was too much for my simpler needs. And Godot being open source and 4.0 just being released, I thought that was the perfect timing for trying out Godot. And we just stuck with it ever since.
Okay, nice. I love to hear that. And forever and ever, I hope. I mean, if things keep going well.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to add a couple things to this. Just that I didn't keep in track of Godot's development. What I saw from the Godot development was that I believe from 4.2 to 4.3, the number of commits and the number of people who joined the development process doubled or more than doubled. So it really feels like it's kind of like Blender, which started off as a open source project that really took off, and Godot really feels like it's at that critical point where it's going to take off very soon, or it's already taking off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's very likely that we will stick with Godot.
Nice. And Jean-Guy, from your side as an artist, how has it been for you working with Godot? Did you try it before, or?
No, I haven't. I don't have any. I didn't have any experience beforehand on Godot. Well, actually, I have a little bit. Like, I was trying to learn coding on my own, like a while ago, and it didn't work out.
Oh no.
It was quite hard, and for me, since we are just starting, so a little bit of my background. I'm a concept artist, so I don't have a lot of experience in production art, like 3D modeling, animation, and VFX and stuff. So I think Godot being like a simpler engine also fits my need.
Nice. That makes sense. Thank you. And one last question about how you guys divide work. Who does the music? Because the music is so good.
Jenny picks them out. It's all free.
Yeah.
We don't have an in-house musician.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Not yet. It's fantastic to hear from both of you, since you're both industry professionals with high standards. I can't wait to hear about what's coming next. But before that, let's take 2 steps back and let's hear a little bit about the journey of the studio. With which Game Jam game did you start?
What was that name? Ludden Dare.
Oh, it's Ludden Dare.
There's Slumber, Ludum Dare. Ah, okay.
Yes, the cashier one. That actually, yeah, I blanked out. I was like, what cashier? Yes, cashier one.
Yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit about each project along the way, and what you guys learned from each one, or what was like something interesting about it. So from the checkout, how did the idea come about, and how was it working on it?
I guess I'll take this one because that was my idea. So that was my first ever game, ever. So what we did is we sat down, and it was my first. Well, naturally, it was my first game jam as well. So we sat down, there was a lot of things for me to learn, including the general game dev process, how to use Godot, um, how to work with Jenny in a efficient and reliable way, how to
Right.
have this kind of reliable pipeline between the two of us, because Godot at that point, well, even now, has some issues with Git. When we try to modify the same file at the same time, for example, Godot sometimes has issues figuring out which one to override over the other. That's just one example of some of the issues that we faced on that particular game jam. As my first game, I was very anxious. I was also very excited to put my idea into the real world, so to speak. And through that, I learned this is a very, very, very difficult process. And it's very difficult to achieve, especially within just, I think it was 3 days. I kind of forget, 3 or 4 days. I did not time box myself properly. I pulled 2 all-nighters trying to catch up on all the features that I wanted to do, but I ended up cutting out a lot of them because I simply did not have time, so I kind of just did it minimal. The end product did not reflect what I had in mind at all. I mean, Jenny's art was fantastic. He did everything that I could ever imagine. But feature-wise, writing-wise, the game itself did not reflect what I wanted to do, although I did have a lot of fun. It was at the end of Wulan Dare of that particular game jam. I knew that I wanted to do this for full time.
Nice. That's where you really got inspired. And how was this particular game for you, Jongyi?
So I had done game jams before, but I think not in like recent 2-3 years. So this is like pretty refreshing, and then prepare myself to get my hands dirty and like doing all the production art. But yeah, it's the final product being like not the original vision is kind of the routine for game jams. I mean.
To be honest, I kind of disagree, because all the other game jams that we did ever after, I think we pretty much did what we had in mind. I think that's because we had a more realistic expectation out of it, whereas when I was designing the checkout game, I did not.
No, but the other ones are have like a longer time frame, which have like a little bit more wiggle room. I think like a lot of my previous game jam experiences within 2-3 days are usually like, okay, the final product has a lot of features, or like kind of going towards the ideas we were thinking about, but it's not necessarily there yet.
Right. I think it's also part of, familiarity, understanding the engine better, and then as you understand the engine and what you're capable of better, you can do more accurately, right?
Yep.
I'm a producer in the games industry, so that's always what happens with first projects or an exploratory phase. Like restraints, constraints, and possibilities are not known. But once you discover them, you can hit the moon. Because, the next few game jam games that you did look way better and feel way better. And I think it's the evolution of you as a team, right? Sorry, what came after? What came after the checkout?
That was the Pixel game jam.
This was, what's in it? A Slumber.
That was a Slumber.
Jongyi, could you start off by telling us a little bit about this game and how it went?
Yeah, so this game jam is much longer. I think it's like over a week. Is it over a week? Is it a week? I forgot.
It's 10 days.
Oh, it's 10 days. Yeah. We settled on the idea of underwater exploration pretty early on, and there's some visual stuff I want to try. Like I kind of want I wanted to really develop the atmosphere of the underwater. And then I'm interested in doing the normal map in pixel art and kind of like have this like modern looking lighting. Yeah.
It looks quite well for what you wanted to achieve. I was surprised that that was in Godot, right? Because it looks so good.
I believe I was the one pitched the platformer idea because, again, this was my second project. So, I mean, any genre would have been a learning for me. So that didn't really matter. But this time I learned that I really need to um, time box myself. I shouldn't overestimate myself. So I picked platformer because it's probably easier to make a platformer than a special puzzle game with lots of mechanics. Platformer is just jumping, attacking, and then level editing. I can make the mechanics as simple as I want it to be based on the time. So there's a lot of flexibility. If I have the time, I can add new stuff. If I don't, I can keep it really simple. So I like the flexibility there. And I just took this project as a chance to practice lighting, since that's what Jenny wanted to play with as well. There's a lot of nodes that Godot is great. There's a lot of nodes that Godot provides for lighting things up. And learning all these nodes was a very fantastic way, a fantastic experience.
Perfect. That sounds really cool. I'm happy that the Godot exploration continued. And I have a question here because you were showing this game off at Seattle Indies, right?
Correct.
Did you further develop it as you worked on
No.
No? Oh, okay.
There's a funny story here. So I did the submission, but I didn't know that itch.io has this very specific submission process.
Yeah.
You need to go to Game Jam's page and then submit your project from that particular page. This Game Jam, the organizers made up like 4 different ways of submission.
What?
So we had to fill out a Google form. We had to reply in Discord. We had to actually submit our project to itch.io. And then finally, we had to submit our project onto the Game Jam page. So there's 4 steps. I did 3 of them. I didn't know about the 4th one. So we didn't submit. We didn't get a feedback. But we worked pretty hard on it. And we were pretty proud of the project. So we submitted, we found out about 6. We submitted to 6. We got great feedback. We got like a 20-page feedback or something. And then we went there and showed off our game.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
It's pretty cool seeing people playing the game. Like since we get into the Seattle Indie, we're tabling at the Seattle Indie Expo, and then we see a lot of people playing there, and it's like a small event at the same time as PAX. When we design something on the map, and when we see people actually playing it, figuring out the level design or finding all the upgrades and stuff, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice. And now a little bit of mixing of the topics. Why did you choose this particular game and not Dice of Scaling? Puppet Showdown.
We haven't made Dice of Scaling at that point. Yeah, it's very simple answer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just go by the timeline, but that makes sense. The timeline on Twitter. Okay, then let's move on to Dice of Scaling, the Puppet Showdown. I love the art style of this one. How did this one come about?
Yeah. So this one, it took a bit of time for us to figure out the mechanics. We had a bunch of ideas of like, we started the idea of like a combat game. We were not sure like which part we want to change in the formula. I think after a while we figured that we could do like a separate body part and then we scale the separate body part up and down, and it changed the wind of the battle, and like it forms a strategy for the player.
Any big lessons or particular challenges learned from this one?
Yeah, so for me, I had a bit of struggle on the art. My first version of the art, the different body part looks okay on their own, but like it doesn't connect very well. It was like a little bit more rendered and realistic version, and then later I kind of ditched the idea and goes for like it's like a plushy type of feeling, like a little bit more texture, a little bit more stylized.
I mean, it looks really good. So you achieved something really nice. Lynn, is there anything to add from your side?
I guess just the fact that this is probably my proudest work mechanics wise.
Oh, okay.
I think this particular game, we actually talked about the potential of turning this into a full game. Yeah. So the primary feedback we got on this particular project was that the mechanics are decently unique and interesting. I personally felt as well. I mean, for sure, you can find other dice games that change attributes and whatnot. There's a very recent game called Dice Romancer, I think, which is kind of similar. But at that point, I didn't know about that game. So yeah, we thought about turning this game into a full game, and we thought that there's a lot of potential in some of the mechanics that we can further improve on. We talked about that, but the idea of shrinking and gaining sizes, art-wise and numeric-wise, can be very problematic to deal with. So we kind of just put that on hold.
So I skipped over Magnum Opus a little bit, but do you guys want to talk about it really quick?
Nah, it's fine. We can skip it. Jenny was sick. I basically did most of it myself, but Jenny provided a lot of good art as usual. But yeah, we can skip.
Ah, okay, nice. You were sick? No? Oh my god.
Yeah, and the takeaway is puzzle game is hard.
It's very, very, very hard.
Yeah. Do you mean more from the game design side? Or
Yes.
Yeah, it's super difficult because designing puzzles is not hard. Designing puzzles that slowly scale up, give the player the feeling of eureka, build interestingly on previous mechanics, that's fucking difficult.
Very hard, yes.
And I'm not a smart man. You guys, if you had more time, you probably would have been able to do it, but it was a game jam, right? So it is what happens. And then you evolved. You said, hey, let's post this game not only to itch.io, but Steam with Traveler's Hymn. Let's hear a little bit about how the idea came about and how that started.
Okay, so after we did a bunch of game jams, we decided that we want to make several longer prototypes, like several weeks length, and we decided that we want to basically each of us develop one of our ideas one after another. So the first one is mainly my idea, and I wanted to make a prototype of a simple RPG, but I want to capture the experience of like walking, like traveling. So from a place to another, I want the experience in between them to be meaningful, and that's the initial idea. And it started. It starts as a I think 3-week project, but I think the idea I had at the moment kind of quickly get out of hand, and it ended up being like a 3-month project.
Oh, okay, that's pretty long. Yeah, ended up being pretty good. How was it from your side, Lynn?
It was a very good learning experience, but I want to take a step back and talk about our pipeline and our general process of deciding what to build. So at that point, we held a couple of meetings. We talked to each other about what we want to do in the future, because we made about 3 game jams at that point. What we decided upon is we wanted to do fast iterations. We enjoy the output that we've achieved from game jams, which is just a game within 4 to 5 days on average. So, and we wanted to learn about polishing, so we wanted to extend that game jam time into a 2 weeks to a month time frame. So that's why we started doing 2 week projects. And but it just happens that the very first project we did, it turned into a 4 month one in the end. We were both interested in game design in general. So the plan was to have him and I rotate as the chief designer of each game, and Jenny took the lead of this particular one. So that's why he was saying this was his idea, and he led the charge, so to speak, on this particular game. For me, I sort of just follow suit, try to give them ideas or pointing out problems in his designs whenever I can. But in general, I have no experience in game design, so it was just all based on past experience in terms of playing games, and I guess just pure logic. But that was really, really fun. I very much enjoyed the polishing phase of the game development process, which is a thing that we didn't get to do in game jams. Game jams lasting only at most 10 days, we never really got to that phase at all. But for Traveler's Team, we got to write a proper story. We got to fix up the story's wording. We got to fix up. We got the chance to fix up all the level designs. I got a chance to design a couple of levels myself, but it was mostly Jenny adding little quality of life features here and there. Every step that we took by the 2 months period when we are done with the major features, it felt like we're making this game significantly better and better. At the end, I was pretty proud of what we have made, although it has its imperfections.
Of course. But, right, seeing the feedback on Steam must be really validating for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised that a lot of people like it that much.
Of course, you never know. So, and you published it in Steam and you were like, it's going to be free. And now, what's coming next, right? Because you said that was Zhongyi's idea. Lin, the next idea is yours, or are you coming up with something together?
So with the experience on Traveler's Team, we felt like we were ready for a non-free project. And that's what we have decided to work on. I mean, we kind of abandoned our 2 week or 1 month project idea already because we spent 4 months making this one game where we felt like, I think we have enough experience. I think we can make a real one now. Although let's not be too ambitious, let's not make a 5-year or a decade game because our budget will not allow it. But
exactly.
We will still keep it short, relatively short. Our goal is to finish the game within a year, which is a timeline that we can achieve, and it's not so long that we'll get kind of bored of it or have other issues with this kind of with this timeline. So that's where we're going. The project is currently ongoing. We have an idea. We have some notes around what we want to build, but it's very very early in the development process.
Okay, gotcha. Nice. And this one, it's going to be a premium title. Who's going to take care of the marketing?
Yeah, so I did some testing with Twitter ads. So we did some testing with marketing in general whenever we got the chance to. I spent like $50 on Twitter ads just to see how it fares, how the data reads. As a software engineer, I really love looking at data in general. This was my old job anyways. So I tried that, worked out okay. But my conclusion was that marketing is probably not for us. I strongly prefer having a publisher for us, but we're not there yet, and my opinion can always change.
Yeah, absolutely understandable. Takes a load off your shoulders and allows you to focus on what you guys specialize in, since you're both also
Exactly.
industry professionals. That's crazy. Johnny, any thoughts on this upcoming game? How excited are you?
So the coming game, we were still working on the ideas basically. So I feel excited, but it's like at the same time there's like a lot of uncertainty. Yeah.
Nice. I think that's a good note to end on. But before that happens, one last question to both of you. First, Yulin, if you had to give one piece of advice to anyone out there, what would it be and why?
A piece of advice for game development.
Sure, yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Right.
As an industry professional, not in game dev, but as software, you have a unique perspective.
I'll say this. During 6, a couple people came up to me, asked me how I'm doing with this, how am I doing this full time as a software developer. My answer is that for most people, this should probably start as a side hobby. It's a very competitive field. There's a lot of people whose dream is to make games, similar to myself. But if you don't have the proper funding, this is a brutal market, and quitting your job to chase your dream without the proper backup can be devastating. So I guess my summarized advice is to
Be smart, don't quit your job, save up.
I mean, yes, save up, don't quit your job, and do it on the side, and only quit when you've landed it. That's it.
Yeah. Fantastic. And Zhongyi, from your side, share with us some of your wisdom.
Yeah, from my side, I think it's important to make games that make games that you have a lot of experience playing, or like you have a lot of knowledge as a player. You have know what to expect, and you have a lot of passion in the genre, or like in the setting, or whatnot. I think for me, Traveler's Theme, the whole world building, the arts and the levels came pretty naturally, since I am a fan of like overall fantasy world building and exploration games. So
Yeah, that's nice. Guys, thank you so much for being with us today. Please mention where we can follow you, where can we support you, where can we throw money at you.
I mean, you can't really throw money at us yet, but we do have a Twitter account.
Yeah.
I don't even remember it myself. One sec. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So we use
All
it
good, all good.
So rarely. Anyways, so yeah, you can follow us on Twitter. It's Aquatic Ranger GS. It's not Twitter anymore. It's X, but you can find us there.
Nice. And anything individually, or
Jenny can share his. I don't really have it.
yeah, I have a Twitter, and I have a Blue Sky, and I think it's Ranger1, Ranger WANG, on Twitter and Blue Sky. Perfect.
I'll link those in the description. Guys, thank you so much, and thank you to everybody who stopped by to listen. This was Godot Unscripted. Cue free.
Yeah, learning has been, I guess, relatively easy, at least for 2D games. 3D games are not a thing I'm ready to tackle just yet.
I understand that. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's the experience that transfers is how clean code should be, scope creep, programming patterns, like basic. I don't know the knowledge you gain from experience, like soft knowledge from programming. Zhongyi, on the other hand, has that beautiful, delicious, tasty art. It's a treat looking at your blue sky, man.
Thank you. But like I have to learn a lot. Well, not yet, but like if you want to make like more like complicated animation stuff, I still have a lot to learn.
Oh, okay.
Have to.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think I have a lot of the concept art direction experience, like from the previous jobs. Like since I'm on the spot and I watch a lot of people. I watch like other artists do their thing.
Yeah. Guys, I'm really looking forward to your next game.